Welcome to Talk to Brazil with Tom Reaoch, the business connector to business in Brazil. Welcome to Talk to Brazil, the Business Connection, a leading Brazil business podcast talking about business in the world. I'm Tom Reaoch, an American living in Brazil, known for business networking and talking from my podcast studio in Campinas, São Paulo, Brazil. Today's guest is Karen Ordones, and she's talking with us from her office in Tartu, Estonia. Karen is co-founder and CEO at Tutor.id, an edtech company, which you can find at tutor.id. Tutor.id is the #1 global platform designed with tutors in mind, a marketplace with powerful CRM, billing, class management tools to fuel internet-powered entrepreneurship and to equip tutors with the tools to establish, grow, and manage their brand and business. So with that, Karen, welcome to Talk to Brazil Business Connection.
Hello, everyone. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's our pleasure. Karen, first, I've obviously checked out the site Tutor.id. I've seen your LinkedIn profile. You're a Brazilian in Estonia. That, for me, is already something unique. But for our listeners, talk a little bit to us about your journey from Brazil to Estonia. Why Estonia?
Estonia happened in my life almost like as an accident, because I used to study Swedish language in São Paulo.
Swedish?
I wanted to study Swedish, yes. I was very interested in Nordic culture and languages, and I had Swedish friends, and I decided to learn Swedish. I heard Sweden was a great country. So at some point, it was like, okay, I'm going to do my master's there. So I started to apply for several master programs in Sweden, and I was receiving a lot of automatic emails, and I was like, wow, moving from Brazil to Sweden, and I haven't even talked to a real person. And then I went to this Estonia university in Tartu called Tartu University. And on the website, there was this little Skype plugin. I didn't know back then that Skype was a Estonian company. And I could see a real person.
I didn't know that either, see?
Exactly. It is an Estonian company. So I talked to a real person, and it felt right to move to Estonia, because I really liked the way the university treated me as an international student. And that's how my journey started as a master's student. Then the second phase was when I opened my company, and that was Tutor.id.
But that's while you were then, that's when you were in Estonia, right?
No, actually, I had this time doing my master's in Estonia, and I loved the country. I loved my experience. But then I finally accomplished my dream of working or living in Sweden for a while. Then I returned to Brazil, and I was always reading news about Estonia. And Estonia had this program called e-residency. So I could become an e-resident. I could open a company and run this company anywhere, but I would pay taxes to Estonia or have their tax benefits when you have an Estonian registered company.
And you can be a citizen of anywhere.
Exactly. Yeah, but you can be an e-resident in Estonia. You can't live in Estonia, but you can have like a bank account, open a company, and run this company anywhere. So that was my idea, to run the company.
Great concept. I didn't know that. That's something new. Well, I didn't even, obviously when I first started researching you, and you popped up, I wondered why Estonia. And actually, when you look at it at the map, when you find Estonia, you're very close to Sweden.
It is. It's very close to Sweden.
Just sort of a hop over the water, over the sea,
yes.
And I also saw that one of the first universities in Northern Europe was there in Estonia in like the 1600s. So. A lot of tradition there, so that's great.
Exactly, and that was the university I studied, Tartu University. It was actually founded by a Swedish king, so there is the Swedish king's statue here in Tartu in front of the university.
So it's still
Sweden
connected
to
everything.
Sweden.
But your drive, and the point I want to get to, which I think is amazing, is the fact that you studied languages really in order to further yourself in learning. And what we're talking about today, in today's global world, it's really languages that are driving business. It's languages, from my networking perspective, languages and knowing another language drive relationships, and relationships drive business. And I see, and back to Brazil, what I've, for all of my time here, Brazil obviously is probably the country where most people study English, but few people speak English. There's sort of like only 3% of Brazilians who actually speak it. And that has been, from my point of view, a setback, and what has hindered Brazilian business persons, students, you've seen that, you've done that, of really expanding into this world. So was developing a language platform, was that part of your success story, and that's what drove you to do this?
I would say that learning English or learning anything changed my life. So that's why education for me is so important. Because it's the reason why Tutor.id exists. I believe in education and the power of education. Definitely speaking English opened doors for me. I could study abroad. I could connect people from all over the world. So yes, I would say my own experience and how education changed my life. It inspired me to create an education platform.
But then you woke up one morning and say, I'm going to develop an education platform, ed tech company? How did that happen? You drinking coffee or drinking something? What happened?
Actually, my family has been involved in education for many generations. Mm-hmm. So I've been always really connected with education. My mother was a teacher. My grandparents were teachers. Their parents were teachers. So it has been our family. Like I'm used to deal with teachers, and I know how little teachers earn. And this was always a concern of mine. Like, this is one of the most important professions in the world, yet teachers are so poorly paid in the world.
In the world, I agree with you, because I'm a teacher, educated in the States, and it's exactly that. It's still one of the lowest paid professions.
And this is really sad, and it's becoming like less and less valued as a profession, and I could not accept that. And I used to work as a school teacher at some point, and because I realized that was my inner call to, my genes were calling me to be a teacher, and I realized that that's what I want to do in my life, but the salary was really not a salary that I could live, so I had to do other things on the side, and I was like, this is an absurd that I need to have 2 or 3 jobs to just do what I love. And I realized that tutoring was one of them, and I was earning a lot more. This is one of the most important professions in the world, and I could not accept the fact that teachers were so poorly paid. And I had it in my mind that I wanted to be more compensated in a fairly way. So I realized that tutoring was this way that I found to teach and to earn what I wanted. So from my school teacher salary to tutoring, I started to earn like 10x as a tutor, as a full-time tutor. And I thought, wow, this is, and I had a lot more pedagogical freedom, and it's so much better to work like this. I could work from home, and that was definitely the biggest inspiration for me to start Tutor.id as a project. I was like, wow, I would like to empower tutors all over the world to start their tutoring businesses, give them the tools that they can, like, in a few minutes, just create their business. They already have a homepage, they already have a scheduler, like all the framework is there. So they have to worry about teaching, and we'll give them students. And so that was the reason why Tutor.id exists, just to help teachers to earn more and, of course, empower education.
Well, I think that's fantastic, because what you just said is true. There are teachers everywhere, and there are students everywhere. There are people needing to learn everywhere. And this everywhere, even in Brazil, obviously, or in Estonia, comparatively speaking, it's a small country. I'm sure everybody may even be able to walk to school. But in countries like Brazil, Canada, China, Australia, which are huge, sometimes it's difficult for people to get anywhere. And even schooling can be tough, and learning is difficult. But almost, I don't want to say everybody, but the trend is to connectivity, access through internet. So what you offer really is the ability for a teacher, for a tutor, to be able to offer services and for people to get in and find what they want to learn and do it.
Exactly. And not only connecting like local students with local teachers, we are connecting like students from Japan with tutors from Europe. Right. So this is really, really cool.
Well, I personally believe that the word local has become obsolete. I know there are many people who don't agree with me. Because specifically in Brazil is a country, as other places are, but Brazil specifically, everybody's local. Everybody wants to do things. They want to see people. They want to hug people. They want to kiss people. They want to be with people. And I'm not saying that's bad, but the culture is not one of expansion, not one of virtual connections or remote connections. And this last year has shown the whole world that sometimes the only way to connect is by internet.
Definitely, the pandemic accelerated the digital adoption, especially for education, mm-hmm. and also how companies work as well. They can grow and expand remotely, which is what we are doing. Right. Our team is not fully based in Estonia. We have like 3 people in Estonia, and Brazil and India and soon Saudi Arabia. So that internet is just helping us to work better, find the right people and connect. And
well,
that is
but
also
I've seen
learning.
You've offered, and the platform offers a Portuguese speaking basis for both the tutors and for the eventual students to get in. So it is being offered in the local language, and I've plugged in, and for our audience, I've created my profile as a tutor. Your drive coming back to Brazil, is that a homecoming type thing, or obviously you know the potential here?
Yes, absolutely. Latin America, and Brazil being the biggest country in Latin America, is the 4th biggest tutoring market in the world. So people do invest in education, and all the founders are from Brazil, and we feel like it's a natural step to, we have organic growth already from Brazil because of our activities on social media, mm-hmm. and my connections in Brazil. So we're just expanding to Brazil because it seems like the natural step for us. Mm-hmm. But of course, we are growing organically in other countries as well. We have traction from the US, from UK. Touring is really big in these 2 countries, and now we want to expand to Middle East, right. Where the market is not really explored. There is a lot of need, but there's like 1 competition or two platforms that are competing with us, which is not much at all. Right. It's not a saturated market yet, so it feels also a good place to be.
Well, I've also seen on the homepage of Tutor.id, you offer much more than just languages. I see here offering mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, a number of other subjects. So it's just not a language learning situation, correct?
Correct.
Even music. I saw here you're offering music.
Yes. Exactly. No, yes, we're not restricting the subjects. When tutors sign up, they type in the subject that they want to teach. If the subject does not exist in the platform, we will just, someone from our team will just approve it and translate it in each other languages. But we're not restricted to school subjects. We are restricted. We open to everything, and then we create the categorization ourselves. We believe education can be also something for fun. You can learn violin online, or piano, or a language. So, but we have to focus. English, and mathematics. These are the 2 top subjects, the highest demand. But we want to establish ourselves as the marketplace of all subjects.
No, that was my attraction, knowing that I could input a new learning situation. I'm offering podcasting for beginners because actually I think that's one of my competencies, one of my skill sets is to teach others how to podcast. But really what I didn't have, besides creating my own site and going out there and trying to do that, when I saw that your site admits that I could create my profile like I did and be able to offer podcasting. And that's to anybody. In my case, I could offer podcasting in English or Portuguese, but to be out there and offer it. So I think that's a driver, and that's one of the pluses for your platform.
Exactly. There are subjects that we would never imagine that it would be a subject if tutors are not like signing up and opening the subjects for us. And we want to enable that. That's exactly why we exist, to enable all sorts of subjects, because we really want to empower people to start their business based on their knowledge.
Now your platform, it's sort of like the chicken and the egg thing, right? Because one side, what you said, there are people who want to offer. If they offer, obviously there will be students who want to learn. And many times there are students who want to learn and they can't find the tutor. So I really think, like you're doing, you're really playing both sides of the egg and the chicken at the same time.
Yes, it is a challenge to supply tutors with students for now, because we are a growing company. But we are now at the phase of like fundraising, growing, adding more, having a bigger marketing budget to put ourselves out there quicker, because it's happening organically, but it's never as quick as just like boosting marketing campaigns. So that's where we are at right now. So as a startup, marketplaces is are the type of companies that are hardest to build, because we have two types of clients and we have to connect them.
Well, that's what makes you unique, and obviously I agree with you. Starting up anything is not easy. Scaling up is less easy, but it's step by step. To be able to get what you just said, to be able to offer your platform to investors, obviously you need to show what you have. And basically where you are today, from what I've seen, you have something that's very valuable to show. To investors, to teachers like myself, and to students. And I think that's the tripod of sustainability that you need.
Yes, absolutely. And we have reached with our product, and even with a super small team, we have 900% higher retention. I know this number is ridiculous, but it is 900% more retention than our competitors.
Wow.
Because we've built tools to empower tutors to build their businesses. Our CRM is our secret sauce, I would say. The way we executed our CRM to help tutors to build their business and to manage their students, the learning of their students, because most platforms, they don't offer everything teachers need. So they take the students out of the platform, and some of them don't really know how to proceed. They don't have the framework, so we make their lives easier. And that's the point. Like, you want to start teaching? Fine, just come to Tutor.id. We have everything you need. And we help tutors to keep their students motivated.
Yeah.
And we want to redefine
you're saying everything
you
need really is the back office for the teacher. So that the teacher can teach and doesn't have to be an administrator.
Exactly. We are managing for them. We're giving the framework, and of course our team is giving all the support. Like, we have a live chat, and any questions that tutors may have, then we're happy to answer from any topic. Could be marketing. How can you help me market myself in social media? Then, of course, we'll have blog posts, but we can real time answer that.
Yeah, I also saw on the platform that you offer, at least in what I saw here, you offer the advantage and the opportunity to a teacher to offer online training and also be able to offer in-person training if he wants or she wants, right?
Right, correct. Because some people, this feature existed before the pandemic, because we know a lot of people were still resistant to teach or learn online. So we opened this possibility of offline learning. Now we definitely do not recommend. But yes, for some countries, some teachers, they have their in-person business and they just use Tutor.id as a management platform, so lessons do not happen online.
Now, the platform seems to be very user-friendly. So even though most teachers think they're very smart, sometimes they don't feel they have the ability when you're talking about digital platforms. But it seems to be very easy to create a profile, to enter and start your business.
Yes, we try to make it very intuitive and very simple. It's very, very difficult to make something that is complex and as robust as a platform that we're building simple. But this is our everyday challenge. How can we make it as easy as possible for our users to understand our product?
But back to Estonia is the fact,
Yes.
You mentioned that earlier, Estonia seems to be a tech-oriented country. Was that a big help in creating this platform?
Absolutely. Estonia inspired me a lot because they have something called the e-government. And I think it's the first e-government in the world. You do everything online. You don't need to go to a government building to do something. You can do it online, and it's super safe. You can vote online with your ID card. And this is something that inspired many features of Tutor.id. Like you can have your identity. That's why Tutor.id. Like you have your identity online as a tutor, and you can do everything for your business online. You don't need to go anywhere. You can build it like in a few minutes. So Estonia definitely inspired Tutor.id heavily, and the concept of like building something online and all your work information in one place.
But the 2 minutes is not an exaggeration, is it? 2 minutes is 2 minutes.
I was okay. If you want to build like a really, really long profile, I would say like 10 minutes. I don't think it takes longer than 10 minutes to build,
I care in
to build
Brazil,
a profile.
if somebody wants to start a company, it's days or weeks. It's certainly not minutes.
Exactly. No, in Estonia, actually, when I incorporated Tutor.id, it took 20 minutes like online just to open a business in Estonia.
And you're
so I would say it's
up,
faster in Tutor.id.
Up and running, huh?
Exactly. 20 minutes ahead of business.
But even though as a business, obviously as an e-platform and an e-country, an e-government, I'm sure Estonia also offers compliance at a level where people can feel secure of having an e-business there, right?
Yes, absolutely. Estonia is a reference country in the world for web security, and everything is really safe here.
Well, if you mention, I think if Skype started and was developed there in Estonia, that's probably the best reference anywhere.
Exactly. Now Estonia has more unicorns per capita than America.
Wow.
Yes, it's it's a small country, but there are a lot of unicorns here in Estonia.
Well, sometimes small is big, and big sometimes is not good. So I think congratulations for being there, for having the insight and the drive that you had starting from school, really to do what you're doing. It's not every day that I meet people who can go to that and really be able to enjoy their dream.
Thank you. I'm so passionate about the idea, and I'm so passionate about education. I felt like I couldn't live without having this product out there because I couldn't find, actually, initially Tutor.id was for myself as a tutor. I really wanted this platform for myself. So that's why I got into this crazy entrepreneurial journey.
No, but you're right. I think the success has shown that you're right. There's nothing crazy about it. And certainly want to thank you for being here and sharing your story with us, and wish you success in the future.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here and share a little bit about my story.
Very good. And I want to remind our audience and our listeners, you can find more about Karen Ordones, and her name is Karen, Karen. The last name is Ordones. You'll find her on LinkedIn. And also you'll find her at tutor.id. That's Tutor.id. You can check out the platform, see all of the courses that are offered, find yourself a teacher to learn, and if you are a teacher, you can find students to teach, and success for everybody. So thanks again, Karen.
Thank you.
And I'd like to thank our audience and our sponsor, Focus MI Market Intelligence. Focus MI specializes in market research for the Brazilian agricultural market. More about them on their site, www.focusmi.com. That's focusmi.com. Visit our website, talktobrazil.com, and that's TALK, the number 2, BRAZIL.com. Find our previous shows of Talk to Brazil, which are also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and many more. Remember, when you talk to Tom, you talk to Brazil and the world. Goodbye, and thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to Tom Reaoch on Talk to Brazil, the business connector to Brazil.